Yeah.
So that was the mistakes from yesterday. It was not having the faith in this zone versus what we were seeing intraday. It's like we let the intraday things once again overrule the strength and relevance of that area, which we knew heading into the day. If you listen back to our prep call, we talked about the relevance of that area and we knew it, but we didn't put enough relevance in it because we let the intraday shit override it again. That's the
Yep.
problem. It should have just been leave the order in. I don't care. Let me get stopped out.
That's right.
I'm not gonna lose the 2 or 3 R. Because I
Right.
had I
'Cause-
think 2.9 R back up to the high of day or something. And then
yeah.
the Fed announcement is what actually made it work. But and that's
Hmm.
fine. That's part of it because when things set up technically and the idea is that technically they should go bullish, then the announcement is just a reason for it to get there quicker. So that's my
Yep.
point. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's start. We'll start over. So all right. So time frame alignment. We have now a realignment back to the upside, right? We have here breakout, consolidation, breakout, and then the Fed announcement. Sorry about that. Was a major launching point once again, and so now we have this follow through. So for the time frames, its intermediate time frame is back bullish again, realigned to the upside, and the smaller time frame is going to be bullish as well. We haven't hit anything major, so now the major areas are up in here still. So until we push up into these white areas and this big massive HVN, I'm still going to lean on a time frame alignment at this point. So
Where's
intraday,
your where's your HVN? Is that for the day?
the big composite HVN is 41.43, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. Remember I told you when we had
41.43.
the first thrust up, and I
Yeah.
said that it'll usually move from HVN to HVN. So we'll look here, HVN, HVN, and then we had the launching point from this one, and then we had this whole low area here that we started filling in, and then we just launched through that, and now we're at the lowest volume area there, and we're going to climb back up, likely going to climb back up into here. So this is a magnet here. This is an upside target for the price to make its way to, eventually. It's taken a couple of weeks, but it's getting there. So this is the next major resistance area in the markets, these HVNs here. And then if you scroll back, there's confluence areas back here, which we're going to get to in a minute. But from a time frame alignment perspective, we have, for me, I'm going to call it full time frame alignment once again. We are extended. We have to acknowledge that too. So maybe there is a little bit of aggression we have to temper a little bit. But there is alignment in play, and when we have alignment in play, then we got to place our automatic orders accordingly. So, and we'll get to that in a second. But right now, we're just establishing the time frame alignments, which previous day, short time frame, intermediate time frame is bullish, short time frame is bullish. Awais will probably say neutral bullish because it's so extended.
Yeah,
But
he already said
huh?
it. He already said
Yeah,
it.
he'll probably say it because he doesn't want everybody to lean so heavy. But
Uh-huh.
I can acknowledge that, hey, this is really bullish, but I can also acknowledge that I need to temper it a little bit and I need to be a little more conservative on aggressive trade location, you know. So I'm just gonna call it bullish, because we got a breakout. So now we get to the larger pattern, right? So the larger time frame pattern is this breakout. We had this strong directional move that took us out of this intermediate time frame balance area. Once again, it was started from the bottom and it went through to the top. So likely a pullback, but it doesn't have to happen today. It could happen today. We could see failure up here and then a pullback, break overnight low, and then get back down into the 38% and the 50%. But the bigger pattern we're looking at is this breakout. It's an extended move breakout. So that's bullish. So we have that larger pattern that's putting pressure on the market on the buy side today. Smaller patterns, we haven't really tested anything yet. We're just kind of pulling back now. So we kind of had a pullback in the overnight session. All right. So cool with the patterns, right?
Yep.
All right. So let's review the levels and auto orders. Now here's where I wanted to spend a couple minutes on because we had to dig in really deep. So I went to 120 minute. I went to a daily chart. So here's a daily chart, and again, sorry about all the lines, but just try to look at the price action. So this is the fuck is that called? 24-hour chart. Sorry, This is a 24-hour chart, and I'm only looking at levels up into this HVN here. So you see the big HVN here. See the big
Yeah.
HVN here. It's more pronounced on this daily chart.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're moving from this one and heading up to this one now. So this is the next major area that we got to keep an eye on, which is also this swing high from that other CPI number. It was the bottom of this balance area here that we broke down from. We retested it. It's the high of these days. It's these launching points. So there's a lot going on from 30 all the way up to 70, 41.26 all the way up into 41.70. It's a really big area, but it's a very relevant area. So it could work its way through and up here. We just don't know where it's going to stop. So we start pinpointing areas in there, and these are the ones I've gotten pinpointed so far, along with this HVN. So the levels for larger time frame areas and automatic orders. If we push up, I'm not really calling this anything here, but let me do this. I'm going to go to an RTH chart. This is a daily RTH chart. So you see how we take out all the overnight noise.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done that before.
Yeah, it helps because there's a lot of whipsaw in this area, so it's hard to see where the areas are on their RTH chart. And so this is an RTH chart daily, and here's the 1 day standing alone by itself that reversed and came all the way down. So here's the gap fill right here, right here at whatever the hell it is, 32. See the gap fill right here?
Yeah.
This is a major launching point which led to a multi-hundred point move lower. So this is a very significant area right here. So that's definitely an automatic order, right? And then you got the high of that day, which coincides with the HVN of this major composite. Now keep in mind, this composite here on the right hand side is the is the volume profile for everything. You see it? For the whole bull market and the whole bear
okay.
market. It's the
Okay.
major HVN for this whole top up here. And look at when I condense it down, you see the major HVNs are here, here, and here. Well, this is the top HVN of all of that.
Yeah.
So that 4140 area is pretty significant. This is a very significant area right here. All right. So definitely automatic orders here and here. It's far away still, like no doubt. It's still 95. It's still, well, it's not really that far. So what the high overnight high was 96. So it's about 30, 40 points away. So it's within reach. I just don't know if we're gonna,
Yeah, it's definitely within reach. We just probably, we're thinking you probably get a pullback before you push up there, but it's definitely within reach.
yeah. And if it goes straight into there, even better. This is amazing short opportunities right here. Okay. So keep that in mind. Very significant areas right here, and auto orders first test, boom, and just get in. And that's really all I'm looking at. And then up above that, there's probably a couple small little areas in here. I have an HV in here, and then this right here is the oh, let me go back to the overnight chart. Okay, so this right here is the overnight swing high from the CPI number. Okay. So this will be, it's far away, but this would be another.
I had that.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
be another automatic order right there. So that's an automatic order. And then you got the HVN here as well at 57. Okay, so that's the upside, and there's all the auto orders for the upside. Now, what I want to do is go to a 120-minute chart, and I want to go to an RTH session. All right, so I'm looking at each day is 4 bars. And we'd already talked about the CPI number is right here in the middle of this day. You can't really see it. It's just an overnight high. And then we got the gap fill right here, and then we have that high a day here, which is also this breakdown spot here. See this breakdown here? This big bounce and then this breakdown, and the HVN. So again, major areas. And then on the upside, we have this day's low right here, this RTH low on 912, and that's where we're kind of, we're dealing with this high right now from 9.9. That was the overnight high right there. And so that's the area that's really providing us with the resistance here so far in the overnight. But a push above that will take us into this area here. So this is a decent area. I'm not calling it a larger time frame significant area. It's just a low a day from back here. Nothing else really lines up. Maybe you can call this little bounce here. But this spot right here is also a decent area of resistance. So if we push up into this, we could expect some sellers here, especially if we're not seeing initiative selling, initiative buyers active. All right, so keep that in mind. This is be an intraday short, but not an automatic order for me because it goes against everything. Now let's look at the downside. So that's all the auto orders on the downside and the relevance of the zones on the upside. I'm sorry, the auto orders on the upside and the relevance and significance of the orders on the upside. So now we're going to go to the downside, and I'm just going to keep it on I'll put it on a 60-minute chart. So here's a 60-minute chart, and you
This
see
is where
this.
it gets tricky.
Yeah, there's a lot more work on the downside. Exactly.
Where it
So
gets tricky because you got
yeah,
after a day like yesterday, you don't know we're gonna get a shallow pullback, a deep pullback. Where are we going with this
well,
thing?
we're going to figure it out right now. So it's actually better to go to like a 5-minute chart. RTH 5-minute chart is what we're looking at here. So top of balance is here, and it's an auto order for not because of the top of the balance. That's one reason, but also because of the intraday support that was formed. Well, let me start up here. I'm sorry, I'm too far from where the price is right now. So go to a 24-hour chart. So now we're looking at the relevance and strength of the zones on the downside. So far we have the overnight low, which doesn't really coincide with anything. It's just the overnight low, and it's this little peak here and this little move up. I even had to go to a 1-minute chart to pinpoint some of these areas. So this would be the first area of support. Again, aggressive in nature, but still first area of support. So auto order for the most part. Now maybe it's a more conservative trade location idea, but it's still relevant support.
Yeah, and we want to again, we want to. I think we've been through this before. With those initial zones, we want to have see something to have some supporting factors. We want to, or not see anything crazy. We don't want to say, hey, I'm taking this first pullback, and then we get an open drive. You know what I'm saying? We still taking the first pullback. So we want to be mindful of that.
Yeah,
What happened to
exactly,
us before.
exactly. That
Yeah,
then we'd want to take it, but we want to just get better trade location, not be so aggressive.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a good lesson that we keep learning over and over.
yeah.
So on the 1 minute, this is a 1-minute chart of yesterday, RTH only, and you can see this final little pullbacks here and this breakout, this pullback here, and there was this high here, and it was this here, and it's the overnight low. So this would be kind of the first area of support, but this is really the more better first area of support. Okay, so this is an automatic order just based on auto order rules alone.
And what's your numbers on that one?
I mean, they're not pinpointed, but I'm looking at
Oh,
63
okay,
to
you just
6,
got it. Okay.
63 to 67 is just that general area. I just cushion it a little bit on the downside, and I'm just looking at the breakout move of that area. All right. So auto order at overnight low, auto order at last pullback 64, and then down here, this would be the 38% retracement. This is a more significant area here. It's the top, and then the last pullback that led to this huge move that closed the day out yesterday. See the pullback right here on the 1-minute chart?
Yes.
All right, so that's another auto order right there, and then another one
That's,
down here.
yeah, that's the main area that I'll be looking at today. That's the one I want to take regardless.
This one?
The one you just, yeah, that one and pretty much what's above it too. I think those are,
Those are the
even a
main
little
areas,
more,
absolutely.
yeah, those are the main areas that we want to definitely get involved in.
Yep. And because we have alignment, that's why these aren't areas because they're strong. They're areas because of the alignment.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm expecting this to hold, and I'm expecting this to hold, albeit this one up here at overnight low a little bit more aggressive for sure. But we have alignment, so you got to take the alignment. And then this last pullback right here. So auto order alignment, auto order alignment, auto order last pullback and a strong previous day, also in alignment, and then the alignment becomes a little bit null down here, but the idea is it's still the last another pullback from that day. So we're just looking at reactions here. Now again, auto orders don't mean just take it for no reason. It means take it for almost no reasons. The one reason being that it's so bad that you're literally trying to get short at aggressive trade location.
There you go.
So if the market is so bad that we're like, holy shit, this is bad. This is going to be a complete reversal. I want to get short like down here at 48, like in front of this area. Like say it comes down, bounces in front of it, and you want to take a pullback to short into that, then you cancel your order because you're expecting it to break because it's so bad. But we got to balance that with how bad does it need to be, coupled
Yeah.
with how bullish it really is. What happened yesterday, and that's the challenge. So that's why I'm saying I would not be shorting anything unless it's major swift downside liquidation. Everybody's running for the exits, that type of shit. Major tick, like a complete, like, uh-oh, we fucked up, we got long and we shouldn't have, let's get
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
So barring that, it's automatic orders stay in place. All right. And then that's it. I don't have auto orders down here because these aren't major areas. And if we start taking out these 50% retracements and these balance area highs and this last pullback, this is where things get a little silly. So that's why I labeled this as intraday bearish confirmation here. If we take out
Yeah,
this area,
we flushed through those. It's a problem.
yeah, it's a problem. There's a problem going on. We're probably likely going to come back down to the HVN. It's a false breakout. It's trapped buyers. It's a lot of things going on. And then like we talked about yesterday, false breakouts tend to go to the other side and maybe even beyond. Not Matt's theory. I don't know where the fuck he got that
They was
from.
getting mad. They was so mad. Everybody was like, "That's breakouts and breakdowns, man." He kept saying, "No, I know, I understand that, but what about this?" And finally, Waste was like, generally, if we touch the highs or the lows of the balance area and then we kind of reject off of that, it's more likely to return back to the HVN, not the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he said, but if it goes through the HVN, then the other side is in play. But no, not straight to the other
Yeah,
side.
it's not one of those things like, everybody's, I mean, that's just the wrong idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's it, man. So that's levels and auto order. All right, now we're gonna get into some execution stuff, and scenarios. Fuck, I forgot how to spell scenarios. All right, so auto orders are set, right? And now we'll start looking at the 24-hour chart and then looking at pullbacks and stuff. So here's the pullback, the fibs from the launching point off the Fed. Come on, you fucker. There we go. So 38% has some confluence there with, first of all, it's an auto order. And if you zoom in on that 1 minute chart, you can see these little consolidation here before it launched. Not this pullback here at 29, but there's a little tiny pullback right here at 35, 36. That little spot right there is a launching point. So, and that's also the 38%. So it's really two areas, but it's really one big area, but I broke it up into two. Because if you look at a 1 minute chart here as well, let me show you a 1 minute chart.
Yeah. Zoom in because I got mine is one area. Let me see how you kind of broke that down into two parts, so I can maybe have better
Oh my God,
execution.
these fucking levels. It's one thing I hate about this chart is they don't stay. These fucking things, they don't stay. And then I forgot where they were. Like you can just click blindly on the chart anywhere and you'll grab one on accident.
Oh,
So it's frustrating because I would like for them to just stay where the fuck they are, but they don't. 1 minute. Just gotta be careful not to grab the chart. So here. So here's a 1 minute chart. And what I was looking at was, here 38. Yeah, so you see the little pullback right here?
yes.
And then this bar broke out. So that's a spot. And then down,
So what's your numbers? What's your numbers on that one? Because I
30,
can barely see
35 to 44.
35 to 44. I see that.
Yeah.
35 to 44. Okay, and then below that you have
Below that, I'm looking at 22 to 29.
yeah. See mine. Let me look at mine over here. 22 to 29. See, I have that. I have.
And there's a little consolidation here from 15. So
I gotta start doing that, man. That's helpful because I'm on the 5 or 10, and I can't see the minute. I've never put that on so I can see exactly where it maybe have stopped and turned around.
yeah, you don't have to do it all the time. I just, like yesterday was a high momentum day, so the patterns develop way faster. Like there's a lot of intra bar movement, and you can't really see the main spots. So you got to go to a 1 minute chart so you can see, like right here, you see the launching point right here. So here's the pullback, and then this little 1 minute bar, that's where the buyers stepped in. and then we had a pullback, and then they continued pushing and broke out. And if you look here,
Yeah.
this here, all these 1 minute bars here, these are breakout bars, launching
Yeah.
points.
Uh-huh.
And then you have this little consolidation here, but I'm thinking Oasis is going to put his level where I have mine, or he's going to drop it down and go from the 50% and down. He's going to go one or the other. But if you go to a 30-minute chart, there's more. I think there's some confluence there.
He's probably going to be more conservative because, like you say, once you're trying to get that plan to a lot of people, you don't want everybody to come in guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give them a little bit more room to protect themselves.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. But if you look, here's the last pullback. He's definitely going to want to get long here. But I don't think he's going to skip this area, this 29, as a spot to put a level at. You want to buy that. So I'm curious to see how he positions this area here.
Yeah, me too.
Because I mean the area is undeniable. Like we could see it, the 38%
Oh yeah,
and here
yeah, easy,
and here. But
easy.
how he pads the zone to the upside and the downside is what I like to see.
Yeah, and I actually go back like at nighttime. Sometimes I'll go back and plot his zones on my zone chart, on my prep chart, and then kind of see why did he put that there? What did he tie the high and the low of the zone to and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I'm noticing the pattern that you be talking about that he be doing. Sometimes he adjusts up and down, and if you look at the chart, there's really nothing there.
Yeah.
But that adjustment is just based on context and bias.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. So you can make an argument for a little zone here too, which he'll probably have. But then he may move this one up and say, I just want to get in, here and be aggressive, and then he may shift this one up, and do something like that. Like he might start moving them around. And they all, any way you cut it makes sense. It doesn't really matter. You're capturing the 38%, and then you're capturing this swing, and then you got another level down here to capture the 50% and this consolidation. So we'll see how he does it. I mean, that's why I don't really go too crazy with the zones. I just kind of just plot them where I think they should be, and then I usually just use his zones for execution.
Yeah, I do too. But we have to get, like I said, we have to get to a point of self-reliance. So
Oh,
I wanna,
yeah,
I wanna be able to, we do pretty good on our zones. Give or take a point or two. Sometimes he said, somebody asked him that. Sometimes your zones may be better than mine because I may be too conservative trying to protect the crowd, and your zone might be a little more better or actionable. But
Yeah.
you know.
All right, so
Okay.
we're on execution scenarios now. So we're going to start here, right? So we're at the overnight
Okay.
overnight area.
Yeah.
So we had the big
There's-
strong move up. We had consolidation overnight. We had a pullback so far, and we had a move up. There's really nothing within this overnight area that I can really see.
No.
I mean, there's a little breakout here. There's really nothing to like lean on other than the overnight low. So I'll be
Yeah.
looking to take this here as an aggressive trade idea, but I would need to see. I would be willing to let's just say I'll take it, but I'll be willing to move it back to better trade location or even cancel it if I see something.
Yeah,
You know,
that's why I'm at. I had to keep in my mind that okay, we got automatic orders, we got some time frame alignment, but at the same time, the most aggressive areas we want to see or not see something
Yes.
to keep that aggressiveness. If it's a clear sign based on your knowledge and you've seen this shit before happen, we get something crazy happening, just take that order out. You can always trade the next area.
Yeah. Well, we want to be aggressive, but we don't want to be stupid either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to be aggressive on days like this, but you definitely don't want to be looking at something that's plainly telling you, hey, like you said, it's a mistake. These guys are getting out of their positions, and you're still trying to jump in and, buy pre-market support as this overnight low or something like that.
Well, I don't think that really. I don't think that's relevant to say.
Oh yeah, that close.
That
That
close.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah,
that's
no.
not going to happen until like down
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I'm just saying as an example, we see
Yeah.
something crazy going on that, clues us in that, this thing is kind of, moving real smooth to the downside. Then, we just want to be mindful of those kind
Yeah,
of things.
exactly. Yeah, like the last week when we thought we saw a false breakdown, and we had a really strong move in the overnight session, and we started aggressively buying the pullbacks,
Yeah,
and we
exactly.
got stopped out. I think we got stopped out two times in a row or something,
Yeah,
which is fine. But there were reasons to not be so aggressive,
exactly.
and today is a reason to be aggressive. So there's a
Yes,
difference.
more so than last week.
Exactly. There was no reason last week,
Yeah.
but today
Yeah.
there's a reason. So
Yeah.
it warrants being aggressive here, but we don't have to take, 77 in the front of the zone. We can take 74 or 72 and put the stop down here and then
Yeah.
take it
Exactly.
again. Now it's going to look like a breakdown in the intraday. If this comes down here and this takes out the overnight low, it's going to look like a breakdown of the overnight balance. But you have to weigh that with what happened yesterday. Like, we can't forget what happened yesterday. That was major. So the area I'm looking at is at 27 to 32, which is exactly coincides with his area too. Like, I didn't even know that was his area there. I just found it on the chart, and then when I plot his zones, I can see that he has a level there as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's good.
Yep.
I'd like to see how my levels line up with his. So yeah, so I'll be looking to get in, right around that, 29, 28, something like that. So let me just plot the order now, and then if it reverses, we could probably maybe come back down, to the previous day high, let's say. Previous day high, or the previous day high is here. So maybe the overnight high at 95, so get short there down to 95. Let me creep these final orders up to like 95. The high probability could be there. So yeah, that puts me right at 24 with a stop at 31. So that's what I'm gonna do. 25. My answer will be at 25,
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. 225.
and then all out by the overnight low, the overnight high that we just broke out of. Damn it, this fucking thing.
Do I have? What is this? I have the intraday highs of that day. That was 6.9. I have the highs at 36.75, 37 quarter.
What do you mean? Way down low?
No, 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 no. 41, 41. That day that it broke down, I have because when I was doing my zones, the high on 6.9 was 37 quarter.
Oh yeah, that's what I got. And that
37
level
quarter.
is the more significant area because it's the HVN. It's the magnet that we're shooting for.
Okay, and that HVN is the number on that was around 43. You said
41.
41. Oh, yeah, but damn, that's so wide. You have to break it down.
Yeah, it's a big area. Okay, so I got the order set, so we're just gonna let that do what it's gonna do while we're getting through the rest of this. Fuck, these things keep moving, man. Damn it. Frustrating. Whenever there's a lot of space to the left, it a lot of space to the left, it moves all my shit around, and I fucking hate it. All right, so we're pushing up into that area there. That could have been maybe could have been short, but it's not really. This isn't really a very significant area.
No.
The 4100 to 4110. You know.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, that was a breakdown area. So I'm looking at it on my other chart. That was kind of like it formed a little balance intraday and broke down from that. Never came back. It's the first time it's kind of going back into
Yeah,
it.
and there's nothing really back to the left that makes that any kind of a major area. It's really
No,
not a
yeah,
major
that's what I
area.
was looking at too. It was just that day.
Yeah, I'm calling the area above where we have our order at now at 25 is more of a breakdown area, and it's also the high of that day. The gap fill, I'm sorry, it's the gap fill from that day, and then the high of day is up at 38, up around there, 38.75, 37.75.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely want to have an order there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we already got the auto orders set anyway, but now they're actually in the book, so let's finish doing what we were doing.
Okay.
So I'm going back to a 5 minute chart. We'll go to 15 minute. So, as far as execution goes, so on the upside, we know if we take out the overnight high, it'll be an intraday bullish confirmation, right? Because we'll be confirming the bullishness by taking out the overnight high, but we got to break and hold and keep going. That's the other trick. So it will be bullish heading into these larger time frame areas here, but they're auto orders, so we're just going to execute them, right? As far as taking any shorts, I'm not interested in any shorts until those areas. So there's not much
Yeah,
to talk about on the upside. Yeah, and I'm not really interested in taking breakouts either. So if we get a breakout, I mean, what do you think about that? Like, so we get the breakout right now, but let's say with the breakout is holding up here in the intraday, and then we don't see any selling, and we see actually some strength. Do we want to be buying those aggressive pullbacks like that?
Damn, on the day like today. Uh,
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. It's super aggressive
yeah,
trade location, but
yeah, it
what
is.
do
I
we need to
mean, you
see
know,
to take it? You know?
we need to see obvious signs of sustained momentum or initiative buying because you need initiative buying for days up here to keep going higher.
So let's
So,
say that then if we see the signs of strong
yeah,
initiative buyers
yeah,
and prices at a decent enough trade location, we're gonna take it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we want to see that tick holding, holding above 200, and of course, AD is going to be pegged today. So, we're not going to get a whole lot of information there,
Yeah.
but we don't want to see it every, stuff taking the 80 taking a nosedive, or Nasdaq taking a nosedive because I don't know if Nasdaq broke its. Did it break its balance yet? It was right at it yesterday.
It broke the majority of it, and it's sitting right at the swing high of the balance area now.
Yeah, so we want to be mindful of that. We don't want to see other stuff tanking,
Yeah.
and then we buy an aggressive support. I mean,
Yeah,
you
and I
know,
have my areas plotted out. This last pullback, this swing high here before the big breakdown. So it's at a major area. It's at the swing high of the balance area right now, and then the next major area is above that. That's a pretty significant area up there. So we're heading into some very strong areas of resistance.
yes, definitely.
All right. And so right now we're Nasdaq is definitely leading the way and breaking out above that. So if we push up into that area there, that could be some reasons to take those shorts. Russell is not reached its balance area high yet. It's kind of lagging, but you got to keep in mind it's been leading this whole time really, and the other markets are kind of just catching up right now. So now we're looking at the other markets, skipping ahead. That's all right. We're just in that area there, so we're still neutral in the Russell, and the Nasdaq is neutral bullish until it breaks out. Then it'll be full on bullish. So as far as the scenario goes, we know the upside, then the downside. Let's say we reverse here, we have a false break of the overnight session, and we come back down again. That's intraday signs, and they could be telling of something bigger, but we don't want to overweigh that intraday shit once again within this context.
And get
So
caught up in that.
yeah, so that'll just be a reason for a little better trade location at the overnight low, right? Which we already talked about. And then if we break the overnight low, and we're seeing some, I think it would be a responsive type of situation. We wouldn't see it. We don't have to see initiative sellers. We just need to see a lack of strength up here. It doesn't have to be outright weakness because it would be a
No.
responsive move back to balance.
Yes.
So if we push down into this first area of support, I'll still be looking to buy this, even though it's a breakdown of the overnight session. But I may just get a little better trade location, maybe widen the stop a little bit.
Yeah. Me too.
But
Yeah. I want to be just keep myself in a mindful state when we first hit that first area.
this one,
Look at everything that's going on. Look, don't gloss over stuff. Look at what's going on, and then trade based on that at those more aggressive levels. Now, if we push down into, of course, like the other areas we talked about, in the 35 to 40 area, those are you take them no brainer unless we're
yeah.
seeing liquidation.
Let me look at what the fib says really quick here on a break of the overnight session, where it could extend to. So that puts us
Yeah,
right
I
at
seen that.
48. I'm looking at the whole right around it to 51. Actually, is 100% extension of the whole overnight session. And then on the upside, puts us up into 16. So right around in there. So if we definitely push up in here, I'll be looking for shorts, which we already know that. But all right, so on the downside, so now if we see wide range bars, excess weakness, we still want to take it, but maybe get better trade location in the middle to the back of his zone. We take this area out, we're likely going to come down into this 38% here, which is also the balance area high previous, right? So this would be an automatic order just based on the level, the alignment, and the last pullback of the previous strong day. And then down into here, same thing here as well. Automatic orders. There's really not much to talk about. There's just automatic orders
Yeah.
all the way down.
Yep.
All right. So the only thing on the table right now is a short, pushing up into this area here. And that's it, man. That's all I got. And we already looked at the other market, so
Yep.
a little long-winded, but
Yeah. It's all good. It's gonna be a tricky day, so we definitely need to talk it out.